Take the bet? You made a face.
No.
You definitely had a face. Talking about a face, one of the most beautiful faces in all of the fight game, the one and only Canadian's own Gillian the Savage Robertson.
I was waiting for the Canada plug.
You're welcome. How good was that intro? That was one of my better ones.
No, that was definitely top notch there.
Thank you.
Dave
Did you? I think you came to the end of that. Do you like that bet? G, am I off my rocker? I like Sandhagen on Saturday.
I don't know. I'm like, I want Sandhagen to win. I honestly really do. I'm like, that's the fight I'm most torn on. Obviously, Merab's been so dominant in his previous matchups right now. But Sandhagen, I just feel like he's really smart. I really like a lot of the things that he says. And I don't know. I'm rooting for Sandhagen.
Rooting for or think he's going to win?
Jillian just said rooting for. You don't have to push her buttons, okay, L?
Rooting for Dominic Reyes last weekend. That didn't mean I thought he was going to win.
Oh man, that's true. I don't know. I just think last chance. Trevor Whitman in the corner, flying knee. Saturday night, everyone's picking Merab. Merab's unstoppable. He's the machine. It's time. Corey Sandhagen gets the job done.
Yeah, I think Corey has more finishing ability in this fight.
Me too. I said that earlier. No one beats Merab in 25 minutes. Like Merab versus Francis Ngannou goes 25 minutes. I got Merab. But if the fight ends, Francis might have a shot.
Yeah, might have a shot.
Grant, it's up to you. If you could stay as long as you want, it's your show. You know that. Or if you want to leave, is there anything else that you want to say? Nope. Are you playing Guco cards again? I've been seeing your Instagram stories.
Guco cards?
Gooey cards?
Guco? That makes me sound like a pervert. What the? Guco cards?
What is it called again?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, he's gone. All right.
On that note, Grant's out. Oh, you left your drugs.
Cinnamon? That's tough. That is tough. Gee, are you ever taken Zins? Are you a Zen girl at all?
No, I've never tried them actually.
You made me super sick. I did not enjoy it.
The peppermint ones I liked, and like some of the fruity, but some of the hard ones, cinnamon. You got to have a lot of hair in your chest for that. Okay. That's
mint.
What did he say?
He said he doesn't like mint. Will you hang out here for Azamat?
Okay. Well, all right. Gee, I have a fun game for you at the end of the show. You'll love that. I should have texted you, but we have
I love games.
So on Sunday, I missed it a little bit. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the show, the whole Dean Thomas 5 years ago take about Ditcheva and Ankalaev, right? But I guess just yesterday he was on another show and it came out that he said like he's like doubled down on it. Like now as Ankalaev as a champion, my argument is that you can't trade a UFC championship. Like that goal just means so much. Like Ankalaev's run for the title is so hard and so long. You just can't trade that fighter, even if it's not everyone's favorite.
I don't know if you remember when the UFC, he wasn't a champion, but traded DJ for Ben Askren.
That is true.
Probably
true.
Like one of the worst trades in history.
It did create Jorge Masvidal. It did.
It did. I will say this. I feel like one has never like really been in rivalry with the UFC. They like operate in a totally different market. So I think the issue here is like PFL got Francis Ngannou, right? And that was kind of their like shining moment of like, ooh, we got the best heavyweight in the UFC. But then the UFC brought John Jones back. And so it was like, oh, no, you didn't, because he never fought John Jones. So there was always like an asterisk on Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
You gave PFL Ankalaev after beating a guy like Poatan. You really are giving PFL a lot of buying power in like, oh, well, we actually have the best 205er in the world.
You know? 1,000,000%.
No, definitely. I just think like, I don't know, it's arguably that like DJ isn't the best 125er ever, you know? Like
Right, I agree.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson is probably one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT of the 125-pound division. So I'm like, we made a trade with him to ONE FC. I'm like, and I guess you could argue this with DJ, but I guess the same with Ben Askren, but just the marketing side of it, the business side of it. Like, Ankalaev isn't bringing a bunch of fans over to PFL. Right. Dakota's bringing a bunch of fans to the UFC and just getting more eyes on her. She really does have that star power. Just being, like Dean even just said it, like a pretty girl who can knock girls out. Like, that is a star right there, period. Plus her personality. It's like she is just that package right now, where it's like Ankalaev doesn't necessarily have the most exciting fighting style or like the biggest fan base behind him, where it's like I guess you're not losing much in that department. I do understand what you mean from the fight side, because he obviously is a dominant champ. I do think he's going to win this weekend, but it's just not going to be the most entertaining thing to watch either.
Agree.
With that being said, why, at Merab, the Merab shift has definitely shifted over the last 2, 3, 4 years, especially 4 years ago. People did not like Merab and his fighting style, and Bilal Muhammad and Habib and Islam and all that stuff. But now these guys, like Habib, is one of the most beloved fighters maybe like ever. Like he gets mobbed if he goes out there. I don't and this is just someone who's rooting for Poatan on Saturday. I'll just be brutally honest. I don't understand the disdain for Ankalaev. Like, where am I wrong on this?
I don't think you're that wrong. I think the issue is we're like, oh, he's not that popular. Maybe to the American fans, he's not that popular. The dude has 1.5 million followers on Instagram and is a Russian superstar. Yeah. Like, we have to remember how loyal the Russian fans are. So I guess the counter argument to what you said, G, is maybe he does take fans over to PFL. They're just not Americans.
Right.
Like, and obviously the people who are watching Ankalaev are going to watch him wherever he is, because that fan base will watch every Russian fighter, no matter where they fight, what time of day it is. Like, they're just going to tune in for that. So maybe you're right, Dave. Maybe he's a bigger star than we assume he is, just because the Americans don't fawn over.
Yeah, like, I just don't think he's a fan favorite. And like, all three of us, we live in Florida. We talk to people usually in the States. We have our people, right? We have our people. And he's not in our circles. He's like not very fan friendly, or we don't talk highly of Ankalaev. But I do respect how good he is. Like, I think he's a very, very high level mixed martial arts. He's the world champion. Like, any world champion, I'm, tip of the hat. Like, I don't know. I just think he's very disrespected in the America MMA circles and outlets. I just think.
I don't know. I think most people appreciate how good he is. I don't think most people think Poatan's getting it done this weekend, Dave. I think you're the
just me. I'm on an island by myself. So, G, you said it. Let's get into it. UFC 320, a phenomenal UFC pay-per-view. There's 4 left. 4 more times we have to spend $79.99, and then we get them all for free in 2026 on Paramount Plus. G, I would assume you're buying the pay-per-view, or at least maybe the night of. We'll see. We'll talk about that at a different time. So you have Ankalaev. You feel like we're going to hear an end still in the main event?
Okay, I think it goes very similar to the way it did last time. I'm like, I don't see many other options. I just feel like it's going to be a boring fight, a lot of cage work, and I don't see it going any other way right now.
Devil's advocate, and we had this debate before you got on. Poatan knows last time they fought, that's exactly what happened. I would assume Poatan is going into this fight with a total different game plan. Hey, I'm going to let these check hooks go. I'm going to throw big shots. Even if Ankalaev takes me down, who cares? Like, he takes me down. If I miss, I miss. He gets me down. I lost the last fight. Like, he kind of felt a little bit more tamed and safe and lost. I feel like I would assume Glover and his team is like, hey, Poatan, let's go. Like, if you lose, if you get choked out in the second, you do, but we're going to throw your 7 best punches. Like, you got to let loose. Am I wrong on that?
It just takes a lot of confidence to do that. Like, it's a smart approach, a different game plan, but I'm like, the confidence that it takes to be able to go out there and just really let your punches go when you do have a wrestler in front of you. It's like it can. Last weekend, obviously at a lower level, we saw Jamie Malarkey and Bedoya, kind of same thing. Bedoya started opening up in the first. Once he got taken down once, really shut him down for the whole next round. At least he opened up a little bit more in the third, but it was like just that threat of having the takedown there is going to shut down a striker so fast.
Yeah, no, great point.
The point I made earlier, I wonder if you agree, is just the fact that if he does open up more, the takedowns will be easier.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
In fact, everybody's like, oh, he stopped all the shots in the first round. It's like, yeah, but he was very reserved on the feet. And so I think Ankalaev will wait and time those shots for that takedown. Are you in agreement?
No, 100%. That's why I feel like it is so scary for a striker to like just go out there and strike with somebody who is trying to take them down, because it leaves the opportunity when you are anytime you're not in position, then you're leaving yourself vulnerable. So if you're going to attack, if you're throwing a jab, you're now out of a defensive position. You're now vulnerable to something. Obviously, you have to take these risks. You have to take the offensive risks. But as a striker going against a really high-level grappler, it's scary and scarier leaving yourself vulnerable all these times, just throwing these punches.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. One thing, G, I don't know if you've seen this or maybe care. Friday morning, I called the PFL. I go, hey guys, the UFC's on Saturday night. It's on very late. I'm like, hey, G doesn't want to stay up late. So on Friday, can we please move the fights during the day? So in America, they're on like at 10 a.m. So I got you the fights on during the day, G. I pulled some strings. So a really good card. Phil Hughes and Paul Hughes. I'm sorry, Paul Hughes versus Nurmagomedov. I think it's a good card for the PFL. One of the better ones.
I know. I gotta thank you for that, Dave. You know, looking out for me there, moving the whole card for me.
Yep. So good card. Friday. I think we're actually. I didn't tell you this off air, so I'll do it on air. I think Fight Banana is going to do something. We're going to do some kind of watch along for that card on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Just more content for the people. Co-main event. I'm super on Corey Sandhagen, G. I like his story, the underdog story. American, trying to get the job done. He's with Trevor Whitman this camp. Knees, elbows, submission attempts, a lot of different stuff. I have Sandhagen pulling off the massive upset. L thinks he's got no shot. Where are you at on the co-main event?
I don't know if I'm biased towards Sandhagen, but I'm definitely siding that way. Obviously, Merab's a machine. You can't take that away from him. He's gonna be there. Like we said, I think Sandhagen might be able to take him out, but if it goes the distance, it's Merab's fight. But Sandhagen, I think, might be able to find a hole. Merab just is a lot of pressure, but he makes a lot of mistakes. He definitely just technically he has a lot of holes, but a lot of people aren't able to capitalize because he just keeps going and going and going and overwhelms them, and now they're in such a deep hole that they can't catch up. But I'm I think Sandhagen might be able to find some of those holes, especially on the ground.
Let's go, G. I love it. We'll get into a little bit more of UFC 320, but we are the people show. So if you guys have good questions like this, we will definitely put it on air and ask it right on the spot. So Masters of the Universe Classic. Who do you guys want to see Arnold Allen fight next? I think he's ready to come back before Christmas. He was unlucky versus Ivov and went completely.
Competitively.
There
you go.
Thank you, G. To the distance with Max Holloway, which aged well. Thoughts? I would love to see Arnold back. I like Arnold Allen.
I think he's a very underrated guy, and I think one of the biggest issues with him is just his inactivity. Whether that, I honestly don't know if that's been his fault, injuries, the UFC. I know he's probably not the easiest guy to matchmake for. I could see him being in a similar situation to a guy like Grant, where there's not a lot of name value and not a lot of benefit to beating him, and he's a super tough fight. I think he's one of the most underrated featherweights, to be honest.
Yeah,
there's a lot of options for him right now. Aljo makes a lot of sense. Yair makes sense. I feel like you can do a lot with Arnold Allen right now.
I'm just looking out. I'm 11-2. I did, like you said, very underrated. I never impressed. For a UFC record, it is 11-2. Overall record is 20-3. But I'm like, that's a good record to have in the UFC at this weight, and to have your only losses to be against the Evil. I can't say his name either. Evilov and Holloway. Like,
Yeah,
those aren't too bad losses, you know. So recently, I guess this year last year he has a win over Giga too.
Yeah. If I was matchmaking, I would matchmake Arnold Allen against Diego Lopez. And you'd be like, why? I think either one. So you get Diego Lopez. If he beats Arnold Allen, he's right back into that spot. And let's just be honest. I think the UFC has done a lot of really good things for Diego. This one's like, hey, Diego, do us a solid. Like, if you win this fight, it's a hard fight, get you right back in that title picture. And God forbid the other way, if Arnold Allen defeats Diego Lopez, do we have a new number one contender, and Arnold Allen can fight for a championship against Volkanovski or Laron Murphy or Mosar. So I think I would do Diego Lopez versus Arnold Allen.
I think the Diego Lopez or the Yair one is the one to make. I think the Yair fight would be an interesting one as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yair more for him. I think with the inactivity,
you want Diego Lopez to fight for the title again? How about lightweight championship?
I don't. I think you have plenty of other people that are lined up there. I do think he's had injuries, Jake. I just think he's been very inactive, and so before you give him one and then title shot, which is what Diego would be, I think you see him be active in the division again, because he was decently active in like 2022. Well, man, he's had a lot of stints, like 20. He fought once in 2020, once in 21, twice in 22, once in 23, twice in 24.
He doesn't fight a lot. He's
not a super busy guy, and that's not terrible. A lot of guys only fight once or twice a year, and like Grant only gets to fight twice a year if he's lucky, and that is not Grant's fault. So I don't want to blame Arnold Allen for that. I wonder if there is something to be said about that. I would like to see him. He's only on a 1-fight win streak right now. I think I'd like to see him get one more. Maybe you do. You could also do him versus the winner of Emmett and Yusuf. Especially if Yusuf wins, Yusuf's coming up. It makes sense for him to go up one more. And then if Emmett wins, then it's like kind of a tune-up fight for Arnold Allen from a rankings perspective. Not that Emmett is an easy fight, but if Arnold is where he should beat Emmett,
The problem with this SG, Laron and Aljo, those are probably one or two. That's next for Volkanovski. Like, one of those guys is probably fighting Volkanovski for the championship next.
Should be Movsar.
Do you think Aljo gets the shot?
No, he should not. Dave has
a chance.
I am not for that.
He has a chance.
He called for it after his last fight.
He did, G. And remember, the UFC was so hard on him with the Aljo on the Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. I feel like this is a bone to give it back to him. I really do. I think Aljamain has a shot. Sterling versus Volkanovski is a big main event. That is a big time UFC championship main event. I know it's over. I know it's like too high. I don't know. I think it's a shot, but
you can't. Man, Movsar has already been passed over by somebody he beat for a title shot. You can't do that to him twice. You can't. And also, you can't. And you can't do it off a 1-fight win streak. You can't. He has a 1-fight win streak. Right before that, he lost to the guy that should be getting the title shot.
Yeah. That's true. You don't have to apologize to me, my friend. You keep it real on the comments, all right? Keep me
to happen at featherweight, Dave.
Yeah, I want that to happen. Yeah.
Everybody wants that fight. I think they want this fight. I don't know who doesn't want this fight.
All right. We got to get one more good fight out of UFC 320 with G, then a fun little game. I know Taurus Finney's coming on in a couple minutes. Kind of like the people's main event is becoming this Yuri Prochazka and Khalil Roundtree. Every fighter loves them. Every fan loves them. Two really beloved guys in the division. Maybe the number one contendership in the light heavyweight championship next, if it's not Carlos Ulberg in there. G, great fight. Who do you have winning this?
I'm like, it's so hard to count out Yuri. And I'm like, since Yuri's first fight in the UFC, I was like, oh, this guy looks terrible. He's never going to win. And then he had the belt in like 3 fights. I'm like, dude just pulls it off so many times, and I just don't know how. I am a huge Khalil Roundtree fan, and especially after that last fight, I'm like, looked absolutely phenomenal against Bahia. This one I'm very torn on. I'm gonna side with Yuri though. I don't know why. Just cause I think he's got something up his sleeve.
Okay. Hey, we take compliments all the time. G's pecs looks great, and I do mean muscles. There you go. Shout out, Jake. Jake, we're getting close a little bit, right? What are we, 7 weeks out? 6, 7 weeks?
Gosh, no. We're still like a long time. I want to say 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Got a long time, man. We're waiting.
Yeah.
Long time.
My fault. I didn't even think about it, but that far out, we should have set up 304 this weekend, but my fault. My bad on that one. My bad. I thought you were just closer. It just seemed like, I feel like we posted that fight announcement a minute ago.
Yeah, I feel like I found out about it a minute ago.
Wow. Crazy.
That's been a while.
All right.
Fight camp.
What'd you say?
I said, that's a long camp.
It is.
It's been a ridiculously long time. It is 10 weeks and 4 days. I just Googled. So yeah, we're still almost 11 weeks out right now.
That's too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to say I first found out about it. I want to say I had like 16 weeks. So I'm like, we've had way too long of notice and way too long even in between fights waiting to get this. Obviously, I was supposed to fight August, but that fell through. So it's just been, it's been frustrating, but I'll be happy to get there once we are starting camp. We're still just kind of like in the baby steps of it.
Yeah, you can't go too hard too soon, right?
Exactly.
And maybe this is too far business question. And let me know if I'm getting too personal on it. It's like, is it always when you're that far off, is it just the opponent? That's when they want to fight? Or can you or your team be like, hey guys, can you just slide this fight? UFC Vancouver's 3 weeks away, a couple weeks ago. Is there any chance of you guys trying to move it up, or this was the date and left it?
It's what the UFC says. I don't feel like we have much control of like, especially maybe if you're like John Jones, you can pick and choose a little bit more. But at my level right now, it's like they tell you, because originally they told me August, I think it was like 23rd, it was the Shanghai card.
Yeah.
So that was supposed to be the initial card that I was on. Then they told me, all right, we're looking for someone for you for Vancouver. And then they told me December 13th. So I've been told multiple different dates and given 2 different opponents in that time period. So it's just whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be back in there.
For sure. Yeah. And by the way, John Jones, he's not ranked right now. You are. So I think you are a little bit higher than John, just throwing it out there. All right. One fun little game with G. I saw this right before I went on live. And so I just wanted to do it with you. I think it's super easy. This is a good one. I'm going to name 4 countries. So country, think of the flag. L, you can play 2 if you want. We'll start with G. We'll go to you next, L. What UFC fighter do you think of when I say this country? Okay. All right. That's easy enough. I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So there's going to be the flag game. Marking it 117. When I say the country Brazil, what fighter do you think of?
Charles Oliveira.
Good one. Okay. L?
An active roster or
all time?
Anderson Silva.
Okay. Like that. When I say Ireland, what fighter do you think of?
I think there's only one you can say for this one.
Ian Gary.
Exactly.
All right. Conor McGregor.
Conor.
Okay. Like Conor McGregor, yeah.
All right, this is a tough one. I thought about this one. Mexico.
Brandon Moreno.
Oh, that's the right answer.
I was going to say same thing.
That's a good answer. All right, last one. Maybe my favorite personally, the Canadian flag. What fighter do you think of?
Say GSP actually.
Oh no! Oh my goodness.
No, the correct answer is obviously Gillian Robertson.
There you go. Come on. Right, there we go. That was our first ever flag edition here on Fight Finesse. G, you're the best in the world. We'll talk to you off air about Sunday morning. L can't do it. So it might be myself. It might be Maddie Levine might come back for a Sunday morning brew. We'll figure it out. Off air though.
I think that's the best I've ever done at one of your games so far.
Dude, unbelievable.
It's okay.
Gillian St. Pierre, and I know you might be, if GSP and Gillian made babies, that would be the greatest mixed martial artist ever to live. Just throwing it out there. G, you're the best. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
On that note.
Unbelievable.
I'll see you.
Later, G. And now I know you got to run real quick too. So you run, we'll get you back on. Our next